Okay, again, and welcome everybody. It's nice to be back, seeing many old friends, and they get older every year. My old friends, except a few of you who get younger. It's nice to see some young people coming to these retreats, because I always think that when the rest of you die, there'll still be someone to feed me. So anyway, these meditation retreats are tailored for you. In other words, you have the opportunity to give as much as you think is good for you, but it's not forced. It's comfortable in order for you to start to enjoy this wonderful path of meditation. Just even on the flight here from Perth to Singapore this morning, I was sitting next to a fellow. We were talking about meditation because it's very popular these days. But he went on a meditation retreat, one of these very tough ones. And he told me he never was to go on a meditation retreat again because he was forced to get up at a certain time. He was made to actually sit for a certain amount of time. And they had to keep meditating, even though that sometimes it felt very painful, or he was very tired. And I told him that is not the way the Buddha taught meditation. The way the Buddha taught meditation was encapsulated just in the first part of his teachings, the middle path. So you feel comfortable, you feel at ease, so you can enjoy the meditation just like I do. I love meditating because I never force myself. And he said, how long do you meditate for if you don't force yourself? So you do about 4 hours. Because you enjoy it. Now this is actually one of the things we're going to be emphasizing here. Yes, there'll be, on the first part of the retreat, there'll be many opportunities to do some meditation, but it's not forced at all. We meditate a lot of the times to overcome stress, not to make more stress. And unfortunately, sometimes that people, when they meditate, they just push themselves too hard. They fight their body and they make battles with their mind, which means that they're worse than when they began. I was very fortunate. The teachers I had throughout my life teaching meditation, they always taught the importance of relaxation, peace and happiness. I remember a story when I was at a conference many years ago. It was on meditation, and the fellow was a researcher at Stanford University. This is a long time ago. One of the first universities who started doing some research on things like mindfulness. And this was a fellow who reported the following study. He said that he managed to get a lot of his students to volunteer to do a little test. He divided the students into 2 groups, and the first group he sent to a meditation day, where they were sitting and walking, practicing mindfulness all day. And the second group he sent to a spa for the day, where they could have hot baths and massages and hot oils. I don't know what they do there because I've never been to a spa. I can't afford it, and anyway, I don't know what I'll do there. So anyway, I think many of you know what a spa is like, where you get pampered. And so at the end of the day, he gave them a psychology test to discover who was the most relaxed. Those who meditated or those who went to the spa. And the results were amazing, they were so clear, there was no doubt about it. The people who went to the spa were far more relaxed. And the reason was, when I heard that, I burst out laughing as well. Because a lot of times the people try too hard, instead of just learning how to relax to the max. That should be your motto. Relax to the max. And it's not that hard to do so. How do we mean by relaxing? You can imagine a guitar string, or even maybe a violin string or a cello string. If that guitar string is very tight, if it's stressed, a small thing pings it and it makes a big high-pitched sound. If you loosen the tension and you pin it, it makes a lower pitched sound. But if you take away all the tension from that guitar string and you pin it, it makes no sound at all. It doesn't reverberate. And that's just like the body and the mind. If your body is really relaxed, there'll be no tension inside of it. Then sometimes, you hear these stories of little children falling 2 stories or 3 stories. They don't have any bruises or anything afterwards. They don't break bones because they relax so much they're not afraid. So when something pings them, it doesn't even make a bruise. And it's just like when you are a relaxed body, when life pings you, you don't get diseases. So, it's a weird thing. I have never ever broken a bone in my body. Even I played football, I fell off ladders, I've done many stupid things in my life. But I've never ever broken a bone in my body, which is really quite exceptional. It's been a long time since I've had any sicknesses, which again is very strange. And I think one of the reasons is because I know how to relax. My body isn't tense, isn't tight. And when I teach meditation these days, I usually begin by teaching people how to relax their bodies, first of all. So you're not tight and tense all over the place. When you relax your body, like I've been doing for years and years now, sometimes people say Ajahn is too sloppy. Look at my posture now, and it's going on YouTube now because Auntie's taking photos of me again. I don't mind, it doesn't mean that, and I don't care. Because sometimes you see some people are so tight and so tense. But when you're very loose in your body gets very healthy. All you need to do is just to relax some more. But how can we relax our body? You can actually see there's no tightness, you're not pulling anything, you're not stretching things, everything is nice and loose. It's exactly the same as when you go to the toilet. If you go to the toilet and you try and push it out from your backside, you will get hemorrhoids and piles. It's not very healthy. So how do you go to the toilet? You sit there, you take your time, and you relax. When you take your time and relax, then you can let it go, and everything flows smoothly. But when you try and force it, you get sick. That is a simile for meditation. If you try and force the body, And you get sicknesses. So when you relax, it's just so easy to do. And also, when you really know how to relax the body, by not pulling it, not pushing it, not squashing it, you will find you get very healthy. And also, things like insomnia, not being able to sleep at night, that disappears. I know that many of you listen to my talks on YouTube. So often when I go anywhere, even again on the aircraft coming over here, one of the flight attendants came up to me and said to hear me on YouTube. I can't escape these days because too many people hear me on YouTube. So much so that they keep telling me their stories. I know one of the stories which was quite amazing. That this lady was very unfortunate for her that her husband, he was only in his 30s, and this was someplace in California, and they were just after and off work, both of them in the house. It was the love of her life. She didn't have any children, and he was sitting in the chair, then reading a book, and he died. He had some congenital heart defect which wasn't picked up, wasn't noticed, had no symptoms at all. One moment he was alive, the next minute he passed away. And that was such a shock that it came totally out of the blue. And so she went into depression. And apparently she told me that what got her out of depression, this is an interesting story, because she was listening to what's called National Public Radio in the United States. And there they were interviewing a person who was quite a well-known personality. He was one of the head script writers for the most famous comedy channel in the United States. That was Saturday Night Live. So Saturday Night Live is the most famous comedy show on TV. And this guy, he got into depression, and he said on public radio, National Public Radio, he'd overcome his depression by listening on YouTube to this Australian monk. And that was me. And that's actually what got her to listen to those YouTube channels and get through her depression as well. But it really made it very clear to me that this was one of the most successful script writers for the most well-known comedy channel in the United States. Now I know where he gets all his material from. You know who. And so just to relax you, this is, here we go, one of my latest jokes. There was a man who came to a hotel, maybe not like this, more like in the city type of hotels rather than a resort. He needed a place to stay that night. And so he went to the reception and he asked the receptionist, can I stay the night here? And they said, I'm sorry sir, that there's no free rooms at all. All the rooms are taken. So well, can I share a room with someone? He said, well, there is one room, twin bed, twin share, there's only one customer in there, one guest in there. But other people have tried, but they can't stand it in there. Because this man snores. He snores so loudly. No one has ever been able to sleep in the same room as him. And this guy said, oh, no worries at all, I will take that room. And so he shared the room with this snorer, really loudly. And in the morning, he checked out, and the receptionist said, did you have a nice, good night's sleep? He said, yeah, I slept like a baby. It's so easy to go to sleep. He said, how did you do that? He said, oh, so simple, that I put my pajamas on, and before I got into my own bed, I went over to this gentleman's bed and gave him a kiss, and he never slept all night. So anyway, I like telling jokes, even the stupid ones. But now you know actually where they get all those jokes from. So, but sometimes people say they listen to my talks before they go to bed at night because it sends them to sleep. And at first I thought that is very rude to tell me my talks send people to sleep. Until I realised that no, it wasn't because they get bored, it's because they calm down and relax. It's because they relax, and once they relax, then they can have a good night's sleep. So, but you don't need to listen to the talks all the time. All one really needs to do is to have a little bit of meditation, mindfulness, you're aware of your body, and then learn how to relax it. Because the mindfulness, the awareness, knowing what's going on in your body, gives you the opportunity to get feedback. And this is what I want you to do during this first 5 days and later as well. Be aware of how tense the body is and how you can relax it. And know the difference between tension and relaxation. What causes tension? What causes relaxation? I'll give you an example now of how I can make you really tense. Because I am now going to be speaking with a very fast voice and a very high tone. And when I speak like this, how do you feel? You get more and more tense and more excited, and it's really terrible. Can you see just how even voice can make people very tense? I'm sure that if somebody actually tested your heartbeat, it would probably be rising. But when I speak really softly, in a low tone, and I tell you to... It's already right, look. Then you do relax. Now, how did you know you were tense? How did you know you were relaxed? You could feel it. You knew it. You could experience it. That's what mindfulness. You can experience these things. And also, you learn what causes the body and the mind to get tense, and what causes it to relax. That's the mindfulness, together with the wisdom, understanding how your body works. I know sometimes I get these articles which people were sent to me, because some of the things which I've been teaching for years and years and years and years, actually people do listen to them. The latest article was some advice to doctors from the Australian Medical Association, telling them, for goodness sake, don't tell the patient that this is going to hurt before they do a procedure. Don't even use the word pain anymore. There's a directive from the Australian Medical Association to doctors. Don't even call it pain. Call it sort of energy, or call it experience or something. Because sometimes you can see when we give things bad words, bad terms, it actually does make us more tense, and it does hurt. The expectations. But when one learns how to look at these things and relax them and make peace with them and embrace them, open the door of your heart to whatever's happened, don't even call it pain. Then you find that the body relaxed and it hardly hurts at all. I don't know if you remember some of those stories in my first book, but I recall in those first years in this country of Thailand, 42 years ago, when we were in the northeast of Thailand, when it was such a simple country where most of the roads were dirt roads, there's no paved roads, certainly not in the northeast of Thailand, maybe in Bangkok. But whenever we would go from one place to another, the senior monk would be in the cab of this little truck, and all the monks, the junior monks like me, would be in the back, in the tray. You can see that now, if you, those of you who paid attention when you were coming here from the airport to here. Even today, many of the workers sit in the back trays of the trucks. And to make sure that there was, you didn't get rained on, there was a metal frame over which they stretched a tarpaulin to keep the rain off. And there was these simple benches where junior monks like me had to sit. Now that might work in Singapore or today in Thailand, but in those days, because all of the roads were dirt roads and they weren't well maintained, there were many potholes. And when the tires went into a pothole, the car went down and I went up. And when I went up, you had the metal frame and you kept banging your head on the metal frame. Number one, I was taller than the Thai monks at the time, so I was the first one to hit my head. Oh, wow, that really hurt. If it was for you, it wouldn't hurt so much. You know why? Because you've got padding. I've got no hair to cushion my head. Just on the skin. Bang! Oh, it really hurt. And every time it hurts, the way I was trained, you complain. Slow down, don't do it that much. But every time one of the Thai monks hit their head, they never complained. They laughed. I couldn't figure out, how can you hurt so much when you smack your head and laugh? So I started contemplating. And my first hypothesis, having been a scientist before, my first theory was that those Thai monks have hit their heads so many times they were now brain damaged, which is why they had to laugh. But these were smart, wise monks, so it couldn't be brain damage for hitting their heads so many times. So I decided to perform an experiment. The next time I hit my head, I decided, doesn't matter how hard it hurt, how much it hurt, I was going to laugh when I hit my head. So I tried that. You know what I found? I discovered a great truth of life. That if you hit your head and you laugh, it hurts much less than if you complain. It actually takes away a lot of the pain. And if you don't believe me, I will now invite you to do an experiment. Hit the head of the person sitting next to you. And laugh. If you laugh, you know. So what are you actually doing there? What I was doing was a simple mindfulness, changing my attitude to how I responded, and realized how that changed so much. How you could have pain, laugh, and it hurt less. Or even one of the other experiences, I was talking about this to some of my monks a few days ago. You know, when I was at Cambridge, and I just got taught, I don't know how they managed to get me to do this, to join the boat club. You know, see the Oxford and Cambridge, they're rowing along the river together. I never was serious enough to get that far, but just, you know, the second or third boat of the college, rowing in these races. That was really hard work. So, we were in one race one day, and I remember I was rowing as hard as I could, pulling the oar, really as fast as I could. And then the coach, you have a coach who's on the towpath, on a bicycle, shouting at you, giving you instructions. And he shouted at me, and he said that I was making a very ugly face. And he said, try smiling. And I had enough confidence to believe the experience of a coach. And I smiled when I was pulling that oar. And straight away, it hurt less and you had more energy. You could pull that oar faster. And to this day, I remember that experience. It gave me a lot of wisdom. Doesn't matter what you have to do, it hurts much less when you smile, except frowning. Which is one of the reasons why when you take photographs of me, it hurts me much less when I smile. Whatever you have to do. But this is another example of mindfulness. You get the feedback, you find out what works for you. How you can relax more. So when people get too serious, I know that that's making them more tense. And they're going the total opposite direction of what meditation is supposed to be. So you just relax. So you can sit on a chair. If the chair is not comfortable enough, get a few more cushions. If you can afford, get a couple of the staff here to bring your bed in here to make it work. That might go a bit too far. But at least keep yourself nice and comfortable when you're meditating here. And if you're nice and comfortable when you're meditating, hopefully you can feel your body relax more. And when you sit meditation, your posture, how you hold your body, you can cross your legs, the full lotus if you want. You can do half lotus, you can do quarter lotus, whatever lotus you want to do that as long as it's comfortable. You can lean your legs over the chair if you wish. If you find another chair, you can put your legs up on a chair, I don't care, as long as you are comfortable. Which is the most important. For those of you sitting on a chair, sometimes, depending if you've got long legs or short legs, if you've got long legs, you put a cushion under your bottom, which raises you up, so your legs feel more comfortable on the floor. If you've got short legs, you put a cushion underneath the legs, so it raises your legs, so it's nice and comfortable, so your knees aren't hurting. That's really important to get a comfortable posture. And when it comes to leaning back or having a straight back, what works for you? Are you more comfortable leaning back or more comfortable leaning forward? You discover that for yourself, because that's what mindfulness does. You're aware, you can compare and find the best one for you. And I will be going into this more and more detail, because this is one area which I always find really fascinating. It's a growth area that how you can improve your health drastically using some mindfulness and some kindness. How you can heal diseases. There's some amazing sort of success stories. Lots of anecdotal evidence, but I want to actually to try and take this further. And especially, every time I go to Hong Kong, there's a few doctors there are really interested in doing some proper research on using some of these procedures to actually increase people's health outcomes drastically. Taking from anecdotal to evidence-based. But you can experience that for yourself. You feel the body relaxing more, it gets more healthier. You can feel things flowing through the body rather than being stuck in the body. Feel muscles relaxing, inflammation start to disappear. You can feel that. Mindfulness gives you the experience, and you can relax the body. Once you relax the body, it's quite simple to relax the mind. People think meditation is just about working with your mental world. But you start with your physical world. If the physical body is nice and relaxed and healthy, then your mind is very easy to be relaxed and healthy. Because sometimes, just like that guitar string, we pull our mind, pulling it off into the future, trying to achieve things, get things, having goals we want to achieve. That pulls us, like stretching the guitar string. Our mind becomes tense. or we get dragged into the past by all these stupid memories. We drag that whole mind gets pulled in both directions between the past and the future. And imagine there is no goals, no targets you have to reach. This is not work. You've come here to get away from the office, from the business, from what people in Singapore keep telling me, the boss from hell. And I am not the boss from hell. I am the boss from heaven. Whatever you do, I'll say, well done, carry on, great job, when you've totally fallen asleep. Because we're not trying to push you, we're trying to relax you. We're not trying to give you more targets to achieve. We're trying to go in the opposite direction, where you can just be, instead of going somewhere. When I travel around the world, when you arrived in Phuket, I looked through the window and saw hardly any human beings. There's very few human beings in Phuket. There's many human going somewhere, but very few actually being here. So, on this retreat, you're not getting anywhere. You're being here. No goals which takes you off into the future. Go to your attention. Just be where you are. When you want something more, you can't enjoy what you already have. Just be. That's how you relax your body, and that's how you relax your mind. Just be. It's one of the reasons why, when I was talking to that gentleman on the Singapore Airlines flight from Perth to Singapore this morning, I was saying, in all the years which I've been teaching meditation, and that's a lot of years now, I never had any casualties. Never anyone who got really so stressed out that became sick. Many people healed their sicknesses. Many people overcame their mental problems, emotional problems. But hardly anyone, I don't remember anyone. And you know that the first time I taught meditation, an interesting anecdote, was when it was in 1973, when I was a school teacher. And in those days, in UK schools, you used to have assemblies. So it was my turn to take the morning assembly as one of the staff, one of the teachers, for 5 days in a row. And I checked it with the principal first of all. It's supposed to be something religious. But I asked him, is it okay if I teach meditation? He said, yeah, why not? A true story, I went up there, 650 children, boys and girls, from 11 years of age to 18. And I told them, okay, now be quiet, straighten up your backs, close your eyes, and watch your breath. And the most amazing thing was they all cooperated, every one of them. No one giggled or turned around. They all did what I asked them to. And after 5 minutes of meditation, when I said, now come out of your meditation, they all gave me an ovation. They actually clapped the first day. Never seen that before in the school. Somehow or other, they actually grabbed them. So much so that when it's only 11-year-olds to 18-year-olds, they all decided to give me some applause. It was something meaningful for them, they could feel it. But I've been teaching all those times, only very good results, never any bad results. Because you are relaxing the body, relaxing the mind, you're getting some peace, some happiness, some joy. it goes in the opposite direction to creating problems and stress. It goes to healing everything. That's why it's very, very powerful. And very simple to do. So, the next few days you're going to experience how simple it is to do some meditation, how easy it is if you follow the instructions. My job is not really to tell you what to do, is to stop doing all that other stuff which gets in the way. And then you find meditation becomes a very beautiful path. A path of much happiness and much peace and much benefit. And also greater productivity, more success in your life. And I can prove that I'm one of the most successful monks. In my business is actually booming. It's one of my headaches these days. I've got too many monks. That's why I've started a new business. My new business is called Rent a Monk Service. So rent a monk, I sent monks over. Recently Ajahn just returned to Indonesia. Rent a monk to Hong Kong. Rent a monk to Malaysia. So the next trip is rent a monk to New York, where I'm going after I leave here. So, it's too many monks. So now why? Why do so many monks come to place like my monastery in Serpentine? Why do so many of you like coming to these retreats? There's a kindness, a softness, a peace, which makes you feel welcome, relaxed, and at peace. So that peace, that welcome, which I give to you, that's how you welcome your mind as well. Make peace with the mind. Don't make war with it. Make peace with your body. Don't strive too hard. Relax. And you will find that that is the path to very, very deep peace. Good health, emotional well-being, and spiritual insight. Last little simile before we finish off. The lake in the mountains simile is one of the best I could make up. If you go up into the mountains, especially at night time, and you look at a lake, if there's even a small wave on the surface of that lake, you will never see an accurate reflection of the moon and the stars in the heaven above. The reflection will be distorted. But if you ever have the good fortune to see the lake perfectly still, without any ripple on its surface, especially on a full moon night, you see a perfect, beautiful reflection of the moon and the sky, only when the lake is perfectly still. And the lake becomes still when you just relax, when there's no striving, no wind, nothing agitating it. That is actually where you get incredible deep insights, innovation, and much other stuff. Only when your mind relaxes, becomes very, very still. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a nice, happy retreat. I don't know what the program is. I don't even know what the program is yet. I just follow orders. Someone told me to come up and give a talk. I give a talk. So enough now, I stop. But anyway, always live in the present moment. Don't worry about anything. It's going to be a very happy, peaceful, and rewarding a few days here. So now you just arrived here. Probably some of you come from a long distance. Well, let's find out where people have come from. No, Singapore is very close, and Malaysia and Indonesia. I know they come from those countries. We've also got some people from India. Who's come from India? Just you. Come on, I know you. Just yourself? Yes. Okay. Anyone from Sri Lanka? Oh, you're from Sri Lanka. Yeah, very good. Eko Honda. And who else? Where's everyone else come from? From where? Taiwan. From Taiwan. That's excellent. Anyone from Europe? Supposed to be, yeah. Oh yeah, nice to see you again. You were doing the kindfulness classes in London. How are they going? Very good. Because this gentleman over here, he got me to do a video of mindfulness plus kindness, which is state of the art. It's cutting edge, not just mindfulness, but taking it to the next level with some kindness as well. It's good to see you here. Anyone from the United States? Is Mr. Trump here today? Oh, sorry, he must have cancelled a bit too busy. Very good. So anyway, we welcome everybody here, but even if you just only come just from Bangkok, it's tiring coming here. So we probably good to have a nice, good evening's rest, and then we'll meet again tomorrow morning. So again, thank you all for coming here. More talks, more programs tomorrow, and so I look forward to seeing you in the next few days. Okay, Angie.
Thank you, Ajahn Brahm. Okay, just a few announcements. So tomorrow morning, if we're having a 6 a.m. session, how many of you are planning to be here? Please raise your hand.
Oh, quite a few. Okay, I'll be here then as well.
Okay. So there will be a session at 6 a.m. We just wanted to check that it's not going to be an empty room in Ajahn Brahm. Meditating only by himself.
No, you'll be right at 6 a.m. No, I'm not going at 6 o'clock. We'll wake up. You just come sleep here.
So the program, which has all been sent to you, will be pasted or has been pasted on the whiteboard here inside, as well as outside the room. So you can always refer to that. And currently there's no change to the program unless we update you further. So don't worry about leaving on the 31st. We've just arrived. So the schedule for transport will be put up 2 days before you are due to leave. So in the meantime, be in the present moment. When you go for your breakfast tomorrow, please be sure to wear your yellow lanyard so that you'll be admitted without having to write a voucher. If not, there's going to be a real jam if everyone has to write a voucher. And there are 2 places for breakfast as far as I know, but on the other hand, this morning the other place wasn't open, so I can't be definite at this moment. But right now is the one that is below the lobby. But there's actually another one which is closer to the beach, which is near the grill. That one may be open as well, so we'll just have to see. But it is a very large area for food, so there shouldn't be any congestion. Okay, so tomorrow after the morning breakfast will be Dhamma talk at 9 a.m. and we'll finish at 11 a.m. by Ajahn Brahm, who will be adjourning for his lunch, and we would be able to continue here with some mindful movement as well as meditation, followed by lunch. So lunch will be provided, and after which 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. will be self-meditation in this room. And there will be a tea break just outside at 5. Then dinner will be on your own, and 8 p.m. we'll resume here for meditation and Q&A with Ajahn Brahm. So Ajahn, if it's okay with you, if you're not too tired, maybe a 15-minute meditation session before we
Certainly.
close?
Anything for you, Ajahn. I am so relaxed. How long? 15 hours?
Would you like longer?
Okay, just 15 minutes then.
Okay, we'll good introduction.
Here we go, 15 minutes of meditation. 1 minute. Oh, no. 15 minutes. So close your eyes. And with your eyes closed. Okay, thank you. There we go. Yes, close your eyes. So with your eyes closed, relax. First of all, relax your body. Do you need to fidget? Fidget now. Move the bottom until it gets the best possible position. Check your legs, that they're all comfy. Feel them, experience them. And check your back. Just experiment. Lean back, lean forward, find out the best position for you. Which feels more comfortable? Leaning back or leaning forward? Whichever feels the most comfortable, that is awareness and wisdom in action. And the kindness chooses the best position. And the position of your hands, oh, it can be anywhere, just as long as they're comfortable. So they don't need to be moved afterwards. So feel your arms and your hands. How can you adjust them? And lastly, your head. Move it to the left, the right, backwards and forwards to find the best position for your head. This is just being aware of the body in which you live. Finding the correct posture, not one which people tell you is the best, but one which you feel from your own direct experience is the most comfortable. So many people have sicknesses because they're unaware of their posture. Just need to feel it, experience it, know it, and adjust it accordingly. And once your body is comfortable, relax, and relax it further. Can you find any parts of your body which are like that guitar string, stretched and stressed? You can imagine like muscles or tendons which are very tight. And you can visualize it's like the string being pulled on either end by two invisible monsters. And you tell them to let go of both ends. Let go. And the string relaxes. Really relaxes. You feel the body get even more loose. Any bits of stress in your body, you let go of those ends. And you experience and feel the body when it's relaxed feels very pleasant. It's what people pay lots of money for, to go to a spa or a massage. Once you know some mindfulness and kindness, you don't need to spend that money anymore. You do it yourselves with simple meditation practice. Really deeply relax. And once the body is comfortable, now we relax our mind. What is stretching your mind? Burdening it, just like that guitar string, pulling it this way, pulling it that way. Imagine letting go, not worried about anything in the future. Now is where your future is being made. This moment is the most important moment if you want a happy, peaceful, healthy future. This is where your future is made. So if you care about the future, keep your mind in the present. And the past, just like an exam, it's already been handed in to the examiner. It cannot be cannot be changed now. So we let that go, allow it to vanish, disappear in the past. You don't learn from the past, you learn from the present. So stay here right now, being in this moment. No goals, nothing to get rid of, and nothing to improve upon. Just be a human being, not a human going somewhere. Just be. I'm now going to be quiet for the next 5 minutes. Then I'll begin the goal to end the meditation. Good night. Let's see you in the morning. Have a nice sleep.